£250,000 to keep quiet.
A woman who tried to ruin Ronaldo's career. This situation literally dragged on from 2009 all the way till 2024, and it may even come up again even though she cannot bring it back up. But let's get into the story from the start. June 12, 2009. Catherine, a 25-year-old model and teacher, meets Cristiano Ronaldo, then 24, at Rain Light Club in the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas. There was CCTV footage that later come out. You can see them in the nightclub on your screen right now. They're partying, they're having a good time, they're getting a bit touchy-feely, and they seem close. It doesn't mean that she wanted to do anything with him, but they do seem close in this footage from what we could see. Ronaldo was a celebrity already at this time, and this woman was a teacher, and the two had crossed paths in America. They go to Ronaldo's hotel suite with others. She alleges Ronaldo sexually assaulted her in her bedroom. Ronaldo's legal team maintains the encounter was consensual. The following day, she reports the incident to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, describing the alleged person that did this to her a public figure, an athlete, but not naming Ronaldo. She undergoes a rape kit examination at hospital, which documents injuries. The police note she was distraught, but they did not pursue the case further at the time due to her reluctance to identify the perpetrator. The following month, Ronaldo's legal team, including lawyers in London, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas, begins addressing the allegation. A questionnaire prepared by Ronaldo's attorneys includes alleged statements from Ronaldo, admitting that the woman that accused him did say no and stop multiple times during the encounter, and that he apologized afterward. A later December 2009 version of the document provided by Ronaldo's team claims the encounter was consensual, stating the woman, Catherine, grabbed his penis. These documents, later obtained via football leaks, are contested by Ronaldo's lawyers as potentially altered or fabricated. Many people was in shock as this hit the news that Ronaldo allegedly forced himself upon this woman.
She also alleges she was coerced into signing a confidentiality agreement for $375,000, which she's now seeking to void.
In the next part of this video, it's a bit controversial. She agreed to take a certain amount of money to stay quiet about this situation, as Ronaldo is a celebrity. Maybe after blowing through this money, decides no, she now wants to take action against Ronaldo once again and sue him for even more money. The crazy thing about this, on Friday 29th of June 2009, in the same month he had signed that mega deal for the record transfer with Real Madrid. Was this a serious allegation or a woman just targeting him for money? Starting January 2010, she wanted to start the year with some money. Ronaldo and the women reach an out-of-court settlement, and Ronaldo pays the women $375,000 under a non-disclosure agreement, requiring her to remain silent about the allegations. The woman later claimed she felt coerced into signing due to emotional trauma and pressure. The following year, inspired by the Me Too movement, the accuser, Catherine, waives being anonymous and goes public with her allegations in an interview. She files a civil lawsuit in state court seeking to void the 2010 settlement and claiming Ronaldo or his associates breached the confidentiality agreement by leaking details themselves. The lawsuit alleges conspiracy, defamation, and breach of contract, coercion, and fraud, seeking now over $25 million in damages. The Las Vegas police actually reopened the investigation into the allegations at her request, and Ronaldo publicly denies the claim, calling a rape charge a horrible crime that goes against his beliefs and labeling the accusations, even on Instagram Live, as fake news on social media.
Fake news. They want to promote by my name. It's normal. They want to be famous to say my name. Yeah, but it's part of the job. I'm happy man and all good.
Ronaldo's club at the time, Juventus, issues a statement supporting him while sponsor Nike expresses concern. Footballers can be targeted. Now, one night of fun in Las Vegas was coming back to haunt Cristiano Ronaldo, as his situation was dragging on for years and it would continue for even more.
It was 9 years ago, but the seriousness of the allegation means his sponsors are worried. He's had a contract with Nike for years, but today in a statement they said, "We are deeply concerned by the disturbing allegations and will continue to closely monitor the situation." That's been echoed by the video game maker EA, who've now removed Ronaldo's image from their website.
This can be a problem sometimes when someone who is a celebrity is accused of a crime. It's like they're deemed guilty before it's even proven. The woman made an accusation, it has to go to court if it's an actual criminal case and go through the proceedings first, and then he's found guilty, then he can be criticized and face scrutiny. But before it's even proven, facing punishment, being dropped from things is wild. She settled for money, so this was not going to go to court, so Ronaldo had no chance to even prove his innocence by a judge or a jury.
On Thursday, he was left out of the Portugal squad, but will be playing for Juventus this weekend, and they're defending him.
Ai suoi 15 anni di carriera.
In his 15 years career, his coach said, he has demonstrated great professionalism, both on the field and off the field.
At this time, some ex-girlfriends of Ronaldo's come out and said he would never do anything like that, and this wasn't mainstream news every single day. It didn't get that much attention. Social media was a little bit different when this case actually first happened. It was mainly just websites and stuff covering it, so there wasn't constant opinions. When being part of a brand like Nike, they want you to have a completely clean image, and this situation was getting dragged on now 10 years later. Whereas the football club he was playing for in Italy, Juventus, they've already spent loads of money on a transfer fee and paying him wages weekly, whereas Nike will just opt out of their contract even towards the end of the year. Things were getting worse as the lawsuit moved from state court to federal court. Her attorney at the time, Leslie, continues to argue that the 2010 settlement should be voided, citing that the woman's emotional state was not in the right state. A female footballer called Alex Morgan said there's too much evidence to cover up the rape allegation against Cristiano Ronaldo. She first put out a tweet basically calling him out and eventually deleting a Vice article about the Portuguese star titled "Ronaldo is an icon of corruption in sports" with a caption, "Now this is great journalism." She said, "I do think a lot of times in today's climate, women have spoken up and it's important to support these women. And I think a lot of people are now questioning who is right and who is wrong." She said on Ronaldo's story, "I think there's too much evidence to cover it up. And I think at the end of the day, money helps put stories down." Noting that the lack of charges meant he can and does continue playing. What he does for a job and entertaining people on the football field has nothing to do with the person that he might be or the actions he might have taken, is what she had said. For me, it just kind of taught me that although I'm still going to continue to say what I feel, it was really difficult to go through people having so much hatred with really misunderstanding the story. Many people were baffled why this lawyer was taking on a case of the accuser when it's already been settled. He was taking a big gamble on maybe getting a big paycheck.
That's what we're looking for. Get a trial, let a jury decide it, and we'll see what happens.
Ronaldo's legal team accuses the lawyer of using stolen Football Leaks documents, which he claimed are privileged and potentially inauthentic. This was covered a lot in the media, and he had to attend court dates, Ronaldo being one of the most high-profile, famous celebrities at the time. And 2 years later, 12 years after the allegations, a magistrate judge recommends dismissing the lawsuit due to the lawyer's reliance on hacked privileged documents. And everything actually backfired on this woman. She was flying flags over Manchester United stadiums telling people to believe her, hiring a plane in another country, sending it over Manchester United's football stadium. They were putting money, investing in this situation. Now, just hoping with all this money they're spending on doing stuff like this, they could get Ronaldo in a courtroom, but unfortunately for them, it did not work out like that. And the US District Judge in June 2022 dismisses the civil claim with prejudice, meaning it cannot be reopened ever again, citing her lawyer's bad faith conduct of using stolen documents, stating the case is being tainted beyond redemption, and imposes a $335,000 fine on the lawyer for his action. A man that was speaking out in news interviews trying to push for this, it backfired on him big time. In October 2023, her legal team appeals in the US Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the dismissal and reopen the case, arguing that the confidentiality agreement should be unsealed and that Ronaldo and his associates violated it. The court hears argument but does not issue an immediate ruling. So we're going into nearly 2024 now. This is 15 years after the initial allegation. How much this must have dragged through his career and been in the back of his mind. But the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal upholds the dismissal, meaning that she's not getting anything out of this situation. Siding with Ronaldo once again, it rejected the arguments to unseal the 2010 settlement and confirms her lawyer's use of privileged documents was improper. No one can validate that the leaks online on that website were even real, where he was allegedly admitting to doing certain things. The $335,000 fine against her lawyer is also upheld. December 2024, nearly into 2025 now, Football Leaks releases additional document reiterating the details from the 2009 questionnaire, where Ronaldo allegedly admitted that she had said no multiple times. These documents remain controversial, but still Ronaldo's team maintaining that they've been altered in some way or potentially fabricated. No legal actions are reported as a result of the publication, and are not expected to, as she cannot reopen this case again. Ronaldo throughout this situation was just calm, cool and collected. Only him and the woman know what happened in that hotel room, and things didn't make it into court where we could see all the evidence. Many times just because a celebrity pays someone off does not mean they committed the crime. It just means the headache of going back and forth isn't worth it versus the money they're earning. This guy just signed for Real Madrid at the time and was probably advised just to throw money at it.
I know that I'm example. I know 100%. In the pitch and outside the pitch. So I'm always smile. I'm happy, man. I'm blessed that I play in a fantastic club. I have a fantastic family. I have 4 kids. I'm healthy. I have everything. So the rest doesn't interfere on me. So I'm very, very glad.
A similar story that didn't work out the right way for the footballer is Benjamin Mendy. He had his career ruined by numerous women that accused him of the same thing. I covered that in another video and I'll leave a link at the end of this if you guys haven't seen it.